Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you're all safe and well. I've got an unboxing to do. This one's from Motion RC EU. It was a pre-order I placed. It could be a couple of months I placed a order for this. And lo and behold, it arrived the other day once the pre-order products were delivered to Europe. It's of course by Freewing. But what is it? Well, let's get this outer packaging away and see what's underneath. It's an F22 Raptor. Ah, I hear you say, but haven't you already got one of those? Well, yes, I have got an F22 Raptor, and yes, it is made by Freewing, but it is not a 70mm one, it is the 64mm one, and it does not come with flaps, it does not come with retracts, it does not come with rudders. The 90mm that they do was just too big for me to A, store, B, transport down to the field. So I went for the 64, and lo and behold, I think I'd just made into the 64 and they announced this on a pre-order. The 70mm version. Yeah. Well, let's do what we normally do on my unboxings. We'll move this to one side, crack it open, and take a look at all the parts up close and personal. But before we do that, let's just crack this box open and see how it's packed inside. It should come as no surprise. Absolute standard Freewing packing. Everything's got a place. It's held firmly into that place. Each item has its own plastic wrapping. There's a manual. I propped it up because it fell out. It's just a loose manual. It's not in a bag or anything. It's got the classic warning label on the front. Now we can move this to one side and take a look. I have noticed that it is a split level box. It's not a deep box, but it's still split level. So this is going to be a thin beast. Let's move all this over, out the way, and start taking a look at the parts.
Instruction manual.
I've turned one of my camera lights out because I know that I keep bleaching out the manuals. So there's that warning label. We know we don't need that. That can be thrown away. Here's the manual. 70mm EDF jet. 6S of course. The drawings, they're not technical drawings, they're just grey drawings showing what you do. Looks like, oh, this is interesting, the wing doesn't screw in, there is no glue in, but it's not all screwing. It's got these toggles. You push the wing in and push them down, and they latch in. So that means the wings can be easily taken off. Well, the rudder's already attached to the fin. And the elevators are screwed in. There we are, the battery. Where the battery goes, just behind the cockpit. There's your connections. All very nice. Centre of gravity. From where the wing attaches, or at the leading edge if you like, it comes back 108. And they are saying that they have marked the C of G location, where it should be, on the leading edge of the wing. So that'll be interesting. We'll take a look at that. There's your movements, of course, of the surfaces. And then you have your rate settings. You've got them low, high, aileron, elevator, rudder and flaps. And you should all know by now, the low becomes my medium. I use their high and then I put my own low in. It's the lowest of the low. Here's the little deflection you need to set in. It's 8mm from a certain point. Then from page 11, it's all Chinese to me. Speed controller, it's a big sheet for speed controller instructions. One side's English, the other side is Chinese.
The goodie bag.
The first items I'm looking at are the goodie bag. It's got a bit of non-slip shelf lining in there. What have we got? A normal clevis, 2 ball link clevises on push rods, 2 spare, I guess they're spare ball link clevis, and what looks like 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 tiny little screws, and they are Allen key driven countersunk screws, and that's it. And being Freewing, it does list them here. 6 of those screws, elevator push rod. They call it a ball buckle, normal clevis, and a bit of non-slip mat. That's exactly what I've said. So that's your goodie bag. Not much, but it's all you need.
Fins and rudders.
Here's what I prepared earlier by cutting the bag open. Didn't really, I've only just done it. Yeah, very nice. You can see the water slide decals. They've got a bit of a sheen on them. Compressed hinge, along with 3 real knuckle hinges. Ball link, push rod onto metal gear servos. There's your servo connection wire onto this big plate. It's a big plastic plate at the bottom, and you are screwing into metal when you screw these in. It's very nice. The foam is lovely and dense. No exposed foam on the surfaces. Obviously under here there is, but you've got a light grey paint. Oh, I should say you've got a very light grey paint, then you've got a light grey paint, then you've got a darker grey paint, then you've got your transfers. You can see that here. There's your light grey, darker grey, even darker. Nice. I'm going to put that back in the bag. I'm going to put it over there.
Main wings.
Here's the wing. I won't go through this one. We'll get the one that I'm going to take out of the bag. We'll look through that. But from where I'm standing, it looks fantastic. And here is a wing that isn't in the bag. Wow, look at that. That's so smooth. There are no injection moulding marks on this at all. Light grey is paint, slightly darker grey is paint, dark grey or darker grey is paint. This looks like a big decal put on there, water slide decal. As is this. Elevator flap configuration. Oh my goodness, look at that. Elevator, foam hinge and knuckle hinge. Ball link, already connected, comes along, metal gear servo. Very nice. Well, there's not even a mould mark on the underside of this wing. Wow, they did a real job on this. It's fantastic. Paint, 3 different colours, or in fact 2 colours on the bottom. 2 metal gear servos. This has different hinges. This is the flap. I guess because it's not going up, it just comes down, so it's got the flat type hinges. But it's still got what looks like a foam hinge, or it might be a material hinge going across. Very nice. Here is where on other models you might have screws. This is a push in, pop out. You can see the white. That means it's okay to push on. Then once it's on, you push that and it latches down. And there's one on the back here. Here's the mechanisms, here and here. This is a well for your wheel. It's a wheel well. Spar already part of the wing. And it looks like it's going to have a ribbon cable connection here to drive the flaps and aileron. It's a plug-in wing, I hope. I hope they don't have a cable. They might have a cable, but we'll have to see. The other thing the instructions did say, and you can see it here, is there is a centre gravity mark. I will still measure, but you could put a centre gravity marker anywhere along that line. Really nice. It's dense foam. Feels like board. Yeah, really good. I like that. Let's put that back in the bag.
The nose cone.
We're now into the second layer of this foam packaging. I've pulled out the nose cone. Dark grey foam, light grey plastic. Held on with magnets and a tongue tab, which is classic Freewing. And it's got nice moulding on it. It's the only part here that looks as though something went wrong with the moulding, but it's tiny. I think that might be on the bottom. I don't know, it might be on the top, but we'll see what happens. I'm not too concerned with that. It's very nice.
The stabilators.
We have a stabilator. And I've got another one. I won't go through details with this one. I'll just put this one to one side. Looks like we've got 3 colours, unless that's shiny. No, that's a water slide transfer. That is. That's why it's got the shine to it. Light grey, slightly darker grey, even darker grey. And this shiny grey is a water slide transfer. There you can see the ends of it here. It's very nice. Looks like a shaft runs through there and you screw it in here. So it's an all-moving stabilator. And it's got a ball link on the end with no paint on it as well. It's just a black plastic ball link. Very nice. Very nice indeed.
The fuselage.
Alright, let's see what we can do with this. Let's see if I can do it some justice without making it go out of focus. So here we are. It's got lovely panel lining on it. Water slide decals. Some silver paint. These are decals, but all this is moulded into the foam. Yeah, very nice. Let's take a look down here. Let's take a look at this part. Metal screwed into a plastic connector that's part of the airframe. This is where the pegs go for your wing. There's one here and there's one here. Here's the retract. It's already in the up position. I'm not sure if it needs to be like that when you connect it. This looks as if, yeah, it's got a ribbon. Oh, never mind. So you do have to connect that to the wing before you finish pushing it all together. But there's a massive gap in there, so you'll have no trouble getting that wire back in. That's all good. So that came out. That goes in like that. This is where your fin goes. And here's your connection for your rudder. And you've got one on both sides. Here's the shaft. That's fixed, so the stabilator rotates around this shaft. There's the cutout. This is where the screw goes in to lock it on to the shaft so it can't pull it off. So you've got to be careful with that when you assemble it. Make sure it's free. Paint, silver paint, brown paint. This looks like it's a water slide decal, as is the rest of this. Very thin exhaust ports, but there's a big 70 stuck in there, down there, with must be 12 blades at least. Let's give you a view of this. It's much bigger than the 64, much bigger. Let's take a look on the underside. Again, paint. It's covers for your servos, 2 screws. I guess you could get at your servo then. They are Metal Gear servos. This has got 2 screws here. That's for your fin, to screw that on. Some water slide decals. That's where your retracts are, of course, they come out. Cheat holes for the fan unit. Oh, that's quite nice. Looks like the front retract has a door cover. So there's a steering gear in there. Got decals on the air intakes. That's all very good. 320th Fighter Squadron. This is what I like about Freewing stuff. Well, not all of it, but quite often there is a hatch in the body. Look at that. Look at that. That is brilliant. Alright, down here they have a mixer box. It looks like everything's already plugged in except for the throttle and your reverse brake. Well, that's the throttle. I won't be using that. Obviously I'll be using the throttle but not the reverse brake. Yeah, this your receiver's going to go up front here somewhere, because all the wiring goes in at the back under the battery tray, which is brilliant, and then pops up at the other end. You've got a strap which is adjustable forward and back, not much, but you can. And in fact you could take the board off because it's screwed in, the battery board, and you can make them longer if you need to move it. EC5 connector, and this is very good, isn't it? Where they've got a cutout here, this is in fact a big plastic sheet. It's quite hard plastic. It creates a funnel down for the EDF unit from the air intake. Yeah, that's nice. I hope I can get a battery that works in it. Or I hope I've got a battery that works in it. That just goes back like that. And that's a real no-brainer, doing that hatch. Yeah, as with most Freewing stuff, we've got a pretty decent cockpit. It's got a pilot in there, no instrumentation at all. It's just a boring panel. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get it so you can see it. There's just nothing in there. Yeah, nothing at all. So much bigger than the 64mm F22, which it will be replacing. But once I've got this built and assembled, I'll maiden it, and then the F22, the 64mm F22 will go into the shop for sale.
The 64mm F22 has already been taken to the model shop for sale.
So thanks for watching, stay safe, stay well. I look forward to you joining me soon on another video, which is going to be an unboxing. Cheers.